If you came here to learn about pricing and how we specifically work with clients, then you're in the right place. My name is Josh Roberts. I'm the CEO of USA Talent Solutions, and I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes on how our pricing works. So let's first talk about direct hire positions. So the number one thing that we believe is if we can't meet you in person, if we can't meet you in your office, then you're probably not going to be a good fit for us. So the first thing we do is an introduction, right? So we will do an introduction call. We'll talk about the position. We'll do a job description. We'll do some benchmarking on pricing, and then we'll come up with a pricing model that fits the qualifications for your specific role. And so, how do we break down that pricing model? So for a direct hire, typically it will range between 20% and 30% of the annual salary. And so it really, the pricing will be dictated by how tough the position is. We have a lot of experience in Pittsburgh. We have a huge network, both in our database and also just through referrals. If it's a position that we do a lot of and that we're very, very confident that we can deliver on that position quickly, then the price will go down. If it's a position that we know is difficult, we've done it before, we know it's going to be challenging, then the price will go up a little bit, or the percentage will go up a little bit. So typically, I would say on average, we're about 25%. We also believe that the longer term relationships that we have as we hire multiple positions, then the price will slowly go down that scale, down closer to 20%. It's a little bit different for contract positions. So we also have a huge division we call our commercial division, where we do light industrial and warehouse positions. For these positions, it's typically a markup on the hourly rate. I like to use averages. So let's just say, for example, the hourly rate is $20 an hour. If it's a 50% markup on that rate, then we would bill that at $30 an hour. But that also includes a lot of things. So those people that are on contract are employees of USA Talent Solutions representing you at your facility. But we cover all the payroll costs. We cover all the taxes. We cover, on the front end, the sourcing. We find the people. We interview them. We vet them. We put them in front of you. We make sure that they are the right candidate, that they do fit your culture. They fit, the position that you're looking for. And you say, yeah, Josh, we want to hire that person. So we hire them. We onboard them through our system. We track all of their time through our system, and then we invoice you. It's pretty straightforward. It's a great way for companies to test out some of the talent, either on, we do some on, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I would say the average is about 90 days. And then we decide, hey, do we want to convert that person to a full time? We'll extend that out, as far as you like. I would say typically 6 months is about as far as we like to go on a temp to perm type position. So how do we determine pricing for that as well? So it's also kind of on a sliding scale depending on the difficulty of the position. The great thing about Pittsburgh, and if we're hiring in the general Pittsburgh area for a commercial division, is we really understand these positions. We've been hiring for these positions. We know the ones that we can find, and we know the ones that are going to be difficult. It's also a little bit about, when we connect with customers, a lot of things, whether we like them or not, there are great facilities and there are not so great facilities. But even the not so great facilities, we still can find people for those. We find the unique things that make that company, that make them tick, right? But it might be a little more challenging. It might not be the best location. And sometimes that will influence the cost. So you might go from a 50% markup to a 55% markup. So those are the things to look for. Those are the things I would be asking, your staffing agencies whenever they come in. How are you coming up with your price? And if it's a flat rate for everyone, then I would be cautious with that, right? Because ultimately the cost that it takes to be able to acquire, to be able to find somebody, able to vet somebody and place them at the company will ultimately dictate the price and the cost that it takes for a staffing agency to deliver on that. Another really cool thing that we have to offer is a fractional recruiter. And so this is a very, very unique offering that we have. And so a lot of our customers, if it's just going to be a one-time hire, if they need to hire a controller or they need to hire a director of operations, typically that's best done, outsource it through a recruiter. let us find the best person. Let us do all the work for you. Because a lot of times internally, HR departments or owners, yeah, or executives, they don't have the time to be able to spend vetting through 100 different resumes, finding the top 2 or 3 people, and delivering on that person. So the great way to do that is through a direct hire fee. Like I said before, that's somewhere between 20 and 30%. But if you need to hire more than one person, if you need to hire 2, 3, 4, 5 people, one of the options that you have is using a fractional recruiter. So what a fractional recruiter is we basically align that person with your company. They become part, an extension of your HR team. And for a flat rate, a monthly flat rate, you get that person for up to 5 positions at a time that we'll hire for. So, if let's just use an easy math example. If you have a $100,000 salary and it's a 25% fee, that's going to be $25,000. If you have $300,000 positions, right, at 25%, that's going to be $75,000. But if you have a flat rate of, let's just say, I'm going to give you a range again, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, where they can work, for 3 to 6 months on those 5 positions, you're ultimately going to be spending, sometimes half the money that you would spend if you did each one of those individual hires independently, versus using a fractional recruiter that can go in. They're working, at least 1 day a week full time just on your positions, and they're doing that with the technology to back them up that we have in house. They're doing it with the skills and the expertise that not all HR departments have. And so it's a unique way to if you're going to hire a bunch of people, over a minimum 3 month period, 6 month, a year. If you have a very good idea of what your growth strategy looks like over the next 12 months, a fractional recruiter with a monthly fee is a great option.